Good afternoon, fellow investors. So, today I'm going to discuss some of the key metrics you want to look at when you're considering doing dividend growth investing. This is specifically investing in a company with the goal in mind of having the dividend that they pay you grow over a long period of time. Okay? So, first thing you're going to see is going to be the starting yield. Now, while you do want a healthy starting yield, you also want to make sure that that yield isn't in any danger of being cut, because the last thing you want is a cut. And you want, if anything, some indications that there's a good chance that your yield on cost can actually grow over the long term. So, before I get into it, though, like, subscribe, and most importantly, comment, because your comments are the most enjoyable part of this for me, okay? So, the first thing is the track record of dividend payments. So, from down to up is the past up to the present, and with HPQ, the track record is certainly for an increase in the dividend over time. Now, recently, the amount is kind of small compared to what you'd want to see, but it's growth nonetheless, so that kind of hits that metric, even if just barely recently, okay? Now, the other really important thing you want to look at to make sure you're not in danger of having your dividend cut is the payout ratio. Now, the payout ratio is simply out of all the money that the company makes in earnings or cash flow, some people prefer to go off cash flow, what percentage of it are they using to pay your dividend, right? So in the case of HPQ, they're paying out $1.05 per year in dividends per share, and the earnings that they're making per share, at least over the last 12 months, because we don't know what their earnings are going to be over the next year. They may have guidance and things like that, but we have to, kind of make some assumptions based off of what they've done previously. $2.51 per share. So that's a payout ratio that's well under 50%. So most people would regard that as an extremely safe dividend that's most likely not getting cut anytime soon. Even if they run into a temporary problem where their earnings falls by a lot over the next year, they most likely can still manage to eke out this dividend, okay? So that would be, a good sign in a dividend growth company. And if they keep that earnings up or grow it over time, more than likely they can keep growing the dividend right along with it, okay? And, even if it just stayed flat, they still have headroom to grow that dividend. Now, in the event that it's flat and they trade at a low multiple, this other metric is really key, okay? This is shares outstanding. So if they're trading at a very low multiple, they can use some of their extra money they're earning, their cash flow, to buy back shares at values that are accretive to shareholders. That just means that they basically add economic value to you as a shareholder when they do it. But the key is, for this to be actually adding real value to you, they need to do it when they're trading at low multiples. But by doing that, they make your piece of the pie bigger. Also, any shares they buy back, they no longer have to pay out any dividends on those shares, which means that money is now freed up in the future, on future distributions, for them to pay to the remaining shares that are outstanding. So just by holding on to your shares, companies that buy back can, in the long run, return more cash flow to you because your piece of the pie gets bigger. That is the power of buybacks. And this is actually one of the reasons why I think if you look at, this particular chart on a very large number of the biggest holdings in Berkshire Hathaway, you'll notice a lot of them have the shares outstanding decreasing over time, because buybacks, when done at prices that are reasonable and intelligent, actually add a ton of value for shareholders. Okay, so that's my spiel on dividend growth. If you found it interesting or useful, give me a like or a comment. If you think that's stupid and you don't care and you would rather own Tattooed Chef, dislike it and tell me why I suck down below. Take it easy and peace.